Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of the Single Dad's Cookbook. Today we're going to be making homemade pizza pockets and we're going to do absolutely everything from scratch. So first things first, the filling of the pizza pocket, you can have whatever you want, whether it be pepperoni and mozzarella or just plain cheese or what I'm doing here is I'm doing like a marinated chicken and mozzarella. You can have whatever you want. The principles are the same. I'm going to show you how to make this chicken one. And the first thing we're going to do is a little bit of butchering. And as always, get all the bits that you don't want to eat off the chicken and spread it out. Now, I'm butterflying this chicken because I want to get the flavour in both sides. So just give it a bit of a flat out and get that in a bowl. And then we're going to add quite a lot of different flavours to this. So first of all, I want to say welcome to the channel. Hope we find you well. Please like and subscribe and let's get cracking here. So just adding in a little bit of olive oil, just so it all sticks. Throwing in 4 cloves of garlic, crushed. Nothing fancy at this stage. I'm adding in some mixed herb seasoning or Italian seasoning, depending on where you are in the world. Then we're going to add in some smoked paprika. So again, that's probably a tablespoon of the mixed herbs, tablespoon of the smoked paprika, then half a tablespoon of turmeric, half a tablespoon of ground cumin. Then we're going to add in some salt and some pepper. Tablespoon of salt, pepper, half a tablespoon of salt. Okay, you can make whatever you want as a filling for these pizza pockets, whatever it is. So if your family prefer, I don't know, like a stew, you could put that in the middle of it as long as it's cool and then it heats up in the oven. Whatever you want. So keep it simple. Salt, pepper. That there is a bit of honey, so it just adds a little bit of sweetness. Then you're going to mix it all up. Just keep it as simple or as complicated as you want. It is completely down to you. So we're going to give this a mix. I actually marinated this chicken for 24 hours, so overnight I left it. And you can see there how it starts, and you'll see later on in the video when I pull it out what it actually turns into. Now for the dough, now these pizza pockets, they turn more into almost like a bread roll type thing, like a cross between a pizza shell and bread. So whether that's they were fantastic and they went down a treat, but this is how I made the dough. So it was a cup of warm milk, not hot, just warm. A sachet of instant yeast. Again, I'm not a baker. I'm not a professional chef. I've not got loads of fancy ingredients lying around. I've got stuff that you can pick up in the supermarket. And then I'm adding in 2 cups of plain flour. So 400 grams of plain flour into this. And then I'm going to add in a pinch of salt. Should have really added in the salt into the water mixture, the milk mixture, sorry. But I did that. You can replace the milk with water. But I've just, the recipes that I read said milk. So I gave milk a go. I had semi-skimmed milk in the fridge, so I used that. And now I'm just going to mix this until it starts to come together. If your mixture, that's the salt I was telling you about there. If your mixture is too wet, just add in a little bit more flour, okay, until you get it to a consistency where it's coming away from the bowl that you've got it in, and then you can start putting it on your worktop and start kneading it a little bit. But as you can see here, pretty wet. Keep mixing it, keep working it. I believe it means you're working the gluten in it, so you just got to keep going. If it is wet, again, add a little bit of flour, not loads. And then if you've added too much flour and it's a bit dry, just add in a little bit more liquid. And until you get it to something that resembles this, where it's all come together and it's coming away from the edges itself. Then dust your worktop, and we're going to need it. And again, I believe you're working the glutens. I am not a baker, guys. Comment down below what the process should be. This was mine's, and I'm just kneading it. I'm just putting it back and forward until it comes to, and it looks a bit like this, where it actually resembles dough, which and I just kept working it until it got to that stage. If you guys are way better than me at this, by all means do it. We're going to put it in a nice clean bowl. We're going to cover it up, keep it somewhere relatively warm, and we're going to prove the dough. I'm just giving it a quick coat in olive oil just to make it life a bit easier. I don't know why, I just seen it on some videos, so I thought that must be what to do. So let's give it a go. So done that, cover that up, pop it to the side and let it prove for a few hours. Now again, I don't know, the longer you prove it the better, no idea. I left it proving for I think 3 or 4 hours. Now onto the sauce, the marinara sauce for inside the pocket. Again, you don't have to have this, you can just use crushed in tomatoes or a ready-made marinara sauce. I'm making it myself, so I've got some tomatoes. These ones were on sale, so I picked these up. So I'm just cutting them up. I've got some jalapenos, I've got an onion, and I've got some garlic. And I'm just going to put them all in a roasting tray with some, again, Italian herbs and seasoning, salt, pepper, a little bit of olive oil. Cover the whole thing, get that roasting, and then what we're going to do is we're going to blitz it down into a pulp. And now you've got two things with this. I'm using it as like a marinara sauce for inside the pizza pocket, or you can have it as a dip. So if you've got friends coming around, and this can be eaten hot or cold. You can use spicier peppers, so chilies, so you can make that. So again, depending on your spice level, you can add in a little bit more heat, or you can keep it nice and mellow, like what I've done with just the jalapenos, and you're just roasting them off, nice and simple. So Italian herb and seasoning, bit of salt, bit of pepper, give it a mix so everything's in the same, everybody's invited to the pool party. Give it a mix, get it in the oven, let that roast. Now the oven's set at 180, and that literally, until you can start, you'll start smelling the scents coming from the kitchen. So give that a good old mix, and then you're good to go to get that in the oven. Catch any that try to jump out like that. So they're good to go. Get them in. Once you're happy with that, get them in. After 15 minutes, they'll look like this. And you want that, some people, you want that little bit of char, because that's all flavour. You see all the liquid in the bottom, you want all that as well. And then all you're going to do is you're going to pop that into the a food processor, blitz it. You can do it by hand. I've got a little food processor, and it turns out like this. So you can see there, I've blitzed it right down. I've kept it a little bit pulpy, but that's all from the sauce there. Give it a taste to see if you need any salt, pepper, whatever you need, in a bit more chilli, whatever it is. Spot on, full. Pop that to the side. You've got that for later. Your chicken that we've marinated, so like I said, marinated that overnight. See the liquid coming out of it. So what you want to do now, get that in a roasting tray. And we're going to roast that in the oven. Cover that by the end of the liquid that we've got. And then we're going to pop that in the oven. Again, oven still 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, and we're going to cook that for about 20 minutes. Because you've flattened it out, it'll be done in then. And while that's doing, see our dough is risen perfectly. At this stage, I'm not sure if it should have been knocked knocked back, I believe the term is, and then left to prove again. So I never did that. I just left it until it quite clearly doubled in size, and then I'm going to just cut it up into sections, and then I'm going to sort of divvy it up. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to do that, because it became way bigger than I thought it was. But I thought I was going to do like sort of this size, and then I realised that these were too big. So I started to try and go, right, let's make these pizza pockets. But by the time you've got to then flatten them out and fold them all back up again, it's just, they were too big. So what I did was I reduced them all, and then take it from there. I made 30. So I got them chickens out, and what we're going to do now, you can see there it's cooked, and I'm just going to shred it. So I don't want big bits of chicken in. I want the shredded chicken in these pizza pockets, or bread rolls, or whatever they are. But we're going to keep shredding that, and then your final shred, it looks like that. So give it a bit of taste again. You want to just make sure the seasoning and everything's right on it. Again, because it was marinated overnight, you've got that smokiness from the paprika. You've got the turmeric, the cumin, all that kind of stuff, and then you've actually got a beautiful little hum of the honey in the background. Now for this, I'm going to actually serve a tomato, basil and onion salad. So I've got some fresh tomatoes, and I'm just going to thinly slice them into little wedges, like so. Get yourself a little dish. Get all your tomatoes in. So all in all, apart from maybe the dough, the chicken's relatively healthy. The marinara's just roasted vegetables, so healthy for you. And now you're having a nice salad with this as well. So again, relatively healthy. I'm thinly slicing a red onion, only half of it, and you can see I'm trying to cut it as thin as possible. So just be careful with that, and then get that, mix it in with the tomatoes. And for the basil, you're just going to tear it, because you don't want to cut it because it bruises. And there you have it. You can add a little bit of salt, bit of pepper, and your salad's done. Nice and straightforward. Now the dip that I made, so the marinara, you obviously want to cool it all down. Everything that you're going to enter into this is, you want it cool. You can see it was still slightly too hot, but you wanted to keep it cool. Then get one of your dough balls, spread it out. Get some of your chicken, and we're going to pop it in there. And then I'm adding a little bit of mozzarella. Again, you don't have to put the cheese in. You could put mozzarella, you could put a mixed cheese, whatever you want in there. I'm just putting a couple of bits of that in. Again, not massive slices, just little bits. And then I'm just going to fold this over. And just all combine it. And as long as it's cold, all the ingredients, they should sort of stay together. I've even maybe put and you can see there, you're just combining it, so it makes it a nice little package. Then put on a greaseproof tray, ready for the oven. So I put them on a greaseproof tray, did all them there. I'm just going to give one last little drizzle of olive oil, just so that it gets a nice bit of colour. You could egg wash these. You probably maybe be even better egg washing them, so it gives it a nice golden crust. But I'm just brushing that on. I'm then putting these in the fridge until they're ready to go in the oven. So I let them set for maybe half an hour in the fridge. Then I'm cooking them. I've turned the temperature up ever so slightly to 200. in the oven, 200 degrees Celsius, and then I'm going to just plate up. Now I've hit up the salsa, the marinade sauce again. I've just hit it up in the pan and put it there so that you've got a bit extra dip, so you can break up your pizza pockets and dip it in. And we've got that, and then we're going to get these little filled balls of goodness. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. It was probably one of the longest videos I've done, probably one of the most process driven. You can see them there. I'll pop them on the board for you. It's probably one of the most process driven videos that I've done. But you can see how they've risen, and honestly, the fillings of them were phenomenal. They're like lava, but they were worth it. Guys, as always, look, I hope you're looking after yourselves out there, and everybody else as well, and each other, because the world is going crazy. There are the pizza pockets, there's the salad, and there's the dip. As always, from my family to yours, till the next time, signing off.